And now, here's today's Viewpoint.
And good morning, and welcome into the Wednesday morning Viewpoint for this Wednesday morning, January 28th, on 2026. Almost there. You can call us at 334-875-1490 and 1492, or you can join us live on the selmapostherald.com YouTube channel. And we're going to go straight to the phone line this morning. Viewpoint, you're on the air. Happy New Year, man. You know, William and I saw each other at Selma High School when WSFA had their day of action, and I almost didn't recognize him, and he almost didn't recognize me. I know I'm not pretty enough for him to recognize me. Well, that's why I didn't recognize you. You had grown a beard. I couldn't put my finger on what it was, but when I looked closer, I said, "That's William." And I recognize your voice. That's how I recognize you. That's right. Yep. well, well, I mean, you gotta if you don't do it, who will? Promoting your different organizations. What you got going on? You got something coming up tomorrow, huh?
See all those people in one place was a great thing for Black Belt Community Foundation to do the glory of WSFA. And so I was glad to have that opportunity. Now, I had trouble getting there because we were not having a ride and nobody from the office to help me. And it was all about about an hour. So I had a friend of mine and my family coming to be a vendor. After that, would you mind swinging by and picking me up? Because you got to talk about the fastness from Montgomery to get here. So therefore, they picked me up in style and I vehicle. Didn't charge me a dime from the time we left to the time we got back. And this kind of thing, this glad you want to. I was very proud to have had that opportunity to go and network while I was out there. So that shows you right there that we keep lacking a little bit of community spirit here in Scotland and how you help people, and we need to take that up a little bit. And also, look more, not only subject or educate, but just a little bit more concerned about our people next door to us and might have an issue. Yeah, I'm gonna get off my.
No, but the good news is, when you're trying to do the right thing and you're trying to do some good and make a positive contribution, many times the Lord will make a way when we as human beings don't want to step up to the plate. What do they say? He already has a ram tied in the bush.
Yeah, and we worked that out for almost at the last minute, and I give the credit to the God Almighty up there because God is in charge, and He evidently wanted me to be there. Just for me to be there, it was great moment. It was there for me to collect resources that I could then refer out to people to the IT to help them be able to lead a more independent, productive life.
Well, that's why I was there. I agree with you. It was a very positive event, and I went to every table that was still there when I was there, and got information that I'll be ultimately sharing with the community by way of the selmapostherald.com website. I'm developing a special section where you can, if there's a service that I know about, you'll know how to get in touch with people to get the help you need. And many times, most of the time, these resources are free.
Most of them are free, and they get it. because nobody knows about it. And they need to have the opportunity to have a voice and get out there through social media or get out there through selmapostherald or whoever, and you may find some people out there. I found a lot of people out there.
Oh, I would have been there. There was no way I could interview all those folks. It was a lot. It was like 80 vendors, man. Goodness.
But like I said, they had anything and everything from education opportunities to career opportunities, private organizations that can provide you with different stuff. And the thing that I liked about it was, and you don't have to see this, you had white folks and black folks that are working together in harmony. It looked like they're doing a good job pretending like each other one another.
Well, there was no tension. I didn't see anybody arguing. Everybody was smiling and getting information and doing their job. And that's what it's all about. This other negative narrative that comes, I don't know where it comes from, but it doesn't apply to us.
I think some people from out of town, but the same was, they all look like they were there for the same mission. They all were there for folks that didn't know about their program or services. And so that's what I was, I left feeling renewed to a certain extent. One, because somebody from Montgomery was able to get me that, and Selma, one area where I got that.
Selma dropped the ball, huh?
Selma dropped the ball, and they don't know what. You could pay $100 an hour. They didn't start really well.
Well, you know what, William? This is what I want you to do before you get off this morning, because off the line, there's somebody out there who can use the money, who has a vehicle that would probably be willing to and able to transport you. Make sure you give your telephone number a couple of times, because if there's somebody out there that now knows you need some transportation because you're legally blind and you're willing to pay for it, just use this program and advertise. I'm not going to charge you. Advertise, use it, put your number out there in the service that you need.
Well, it's not just William Robert. I know 25, 30 people that need and the thing about it is, to find the right person, like I got my own vehicle, and you live it, I had to show her, give me my vehicle, and we're going, I need my gas, my insurance, my car, my truck, everything. And then people don't really get what I'm doing in favor.
So no, you need a driver. There's plenty of people plenty of drivers that's what they chauffeurs make money being drivers.
But anyway, long story short, I tell this story to lead into what comes more. A situation where you can't read, you can't do you try to do every day is being independent. January has been National Glaucoma Month, I know 2 years, because Dr. Maxwell started promoting it, and then when he started promoting it, I started promoting it. VIP, due to the fact glaucoma is the leading cause of blindness. Number 2, I agree with glaucoma. I was born with that. I get glaucoma, which means you're born. There's no cure for glaucoma. You have to practice all kinds of treatments, and it's coming out. All you got to do is go to YouTube and type in what is glaucoma, or you can go to YouTube and find out treatments for glaucoma. Now, so each year we've been partnering with Primary Eye Care Center. That's one is to do a free glaucoma eye screen every year for the last, I know, at least 15 years. She's a great lady, very good person, willing to help the community, and if she finds glaucoma, she's going to start treatment immediately and have you come back and try to put her eye exam, so that she can see if anything else is going on in her eye, any damage to the optic nerve is going on. And she can do equipment to do all this stuff with. Last year, I saw her do something I hadn't seen about to do even in Birmingham. She had a certain type of scanner that she watch on the TV screen. And you see what she's cleaning while she's cooking. You still with me?
I'm listening. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
This was the most fascinating thing I've ever seen. I was like, man, I'm cool. My eyes gonna look right to the door. He's like, my doctor was in Birmingham, Andrew Mays, who's president. He examined me and said, man, every time I see you, I see a miracle. What are you talking about? So miracle is you're not supposed to sleep. You all these procedures that we procedures they did for me were to give me better life, right? It was to prevent it from getting worse. That's what a lot of people are. You don't need to better life, right? I'm trying to keep it from getting worse. But now I'm down right now in a piece of and I it's still now, but it's like you would say Ryan, Dr. Ryan, and I'll quote you up, right? I just
Yeah. I wouldn't have you driving me anywhere. Let's put it like that, huh?
you wouldn't want me to drive. Of course, I like it on the farm. I cut my own grass on the mowers, right? And I got it for me. Well, I shouldn't be doing a lot of stuff, but I have to get it done because I ain't rich like you are. And I can't afford to pay nobody to do it.
You can't depend on a lot of folks anyway. You just like to drive, and you can't. It's hard to find a dependable driving service to get there on time.
Yeah, so you can't do that stuff, but they not make real money to drive around. So anyway, if somebody monitors their daily routine, they can start to travel, but who didn't go to some of these college.
Do you know it used to be three? Do you realize there were three taxi companies in Selma back in the 70s? And I believe I don't know how long they went, because I think, when did I leave? The first time I left was in 78, and then I came back in the 80s, and then I went again in 90. And when I came back, I think I noticed, I think one of the guys that was really dependable passed away. Big Daddy, and I don't know if there are any more services that are dependable that are left or not. But there were, at one time, I know there were three taxi cab services in Selma. I don't know what happens with Uber and all these other services, but you're right. That's an opportunity for somebody. So many of us, all we do is complain, and we don't search out solutions. But that's a business opportunity for somebody that's in the drive.
You got a vehicle, and man, you can create you something real quick right there and take up cash money. And if you're not making anything in an hour, somebody's willing to pay you $10 an hour, and you don't make $10 an hour, that ain't costing nothing to drive me and my vehicle.
Give your phone number out, please. By now, people should have, anybody interested should have their pen and paper or their laptop ready. Give your number out a few times and make sure they get it, please.
Okay, it's 334 going back to the wrong conversation, you come in, it's free, they don't cost anything. They will examine you, glaucoma, check your vision, and take some other stuff going on. She'll probably have you come back next week, or you schedule that your opinion. The screening is actually tomorrow. I believe that if you call the day after or the next week, say, hey, I have a to get there, she will go ahead and do the first screening for you, and then still take you up for.
Now, where is this going to be and what time?
It starts at noon tomorrow. Go until I think 2 o'clock tomorrow, but it's 2 o'clock. Don't mean that she's going to it's 2 o'clock. We still get people coming in. We don't see the people until they get through with us. And again, it's a free event for tomorrow.
What's the address? Where's the location?
It's 25 401 North Highway, Dr. Maxwell, and I.
Is it in the same building?
It's the same building.
Wow. Okay.
If you want to talk to a video of someone getting an accident, you can do me. I'll give you permission to examine me.
Well, you said that's tomorrow, right? Yeah, I've got I'll try to make it. I know I'm going to do the Veterans Fair, and so tomorrow I'll try to come.
I know there's a lot of stuff going on at the same time.
Well, I already had scheduled it, and that's why in the future, as soon as you know about an event that you're going to have, shoot it to me. Email me or call me or let me know, so we don't wait until the week of the event to be talking about it.
I'm not saying no, my phone let me down sometimes, and computer's been
Well, call me. Just call me, and I'll write it down for you, Tom. Yeah, rwselma@gmail.com.
Okay.
My initials, Selma@gmail.com.
Okay. Well, we'll shoot you something next time we have something going on. VIP is one of the people what VIP is. Well, VIP is visual and organization with 501c3 nonprofit organization that is dedicated to providing community education, mentoring, and support for people with blind, visual, and so each year, my common training we do about 5 or 6 low vision support groups to mentor people and help people some other people that are being impaired blind, how they get independent.
Now, what about we got an election coming up? Can you kind of brief us on what does a person that's visually impaired do in order to take advantage of the new technology to vote?
Well, with the Help America Vote Act and American Disability Act, 90s and 2014 legislation was passed that all polling places were supposed to be made accessible, which is accessible. If someone is visually impaired or blind needs an opportunity to be able to see the ballot, because they can't see it, they can scan it into a computer and also read the ballot to you too. And then there will be a button on there that you can mash and mark your ballot with the actual machine darken your ballot the way you want it to be, not the way your neighbor wants you to mark it out for the opinion. So you'd be independent doing your own voting as a young man is real good about making sure that things are running during the election and state election. People turned away from using the automatic machine because of the fact it wasn't turned on. The polling people didn't want to turn it on, and they had to turn it on. And encourage the person to get somebody in the polling place to vote before them and mark the ballot or let them do it themselves. Well, I'm against that. I want that person who wants to vote the way they want to vote, not the way somebody else wants to vote. And so, this equipment is there. It's easy to use. If I can do it, anybody can do it. I learned how to for that six needs to be. But the opportunity is there. You just have to ask for it. If they don't have it, they come to the Secretary of State's office as well as the Congress.
Well, I know that every election that Judge Nunn has been in office for, I noticed that he goes out of his way to make sure, that those machines are ready. And you can walk in. I've walked in to his office, and all of the different machines are, in that conference room laid out, being prepared for the election. So I know he does. I know he's supportive of people who are visually impaired. He wants to see that everybody has an opportunity. And he's a family, he's going to get out more. He and Mayor Moss both signed a proclamation proclaiming January is Global Criminal Awareness Month. And
pounds. So they'll be out there probably about tomorrow doing that with a little ceremony. And so
Well, now I'll try to be there. Again, if I come, it'll be around that time. That's what I'd be shooting for.
we'll be glad to have you, and you might want to get your eyes checked. If you hadn't had your eyes checked and you're 50 years old, you need to go on out.
Well, fortunately, I've been getting my eyes checked for the last couple of years, so I'm in pretty good shape. I've got a good eye doctor also, and so yeah.
Well, these people, if you come out on our doctor, we can refer you to one and get some help. The last part of this fact for this event is if somebody does need a ride, I have partnered with someone who said that they would pick somebody up and bring them to the event. So if they call me at 334-354-4015, then be able to refer them to who they need to contact. And it won't cost you anything to get to it. Now, the thing is, once again, who what's going on? It could be anybody. You get from birth, you get from trauma to die, it can be hereditary to the family. Americans are at risk for glaucoma, and all that's in the group said world, but if you know that you have a family history, and if you have a family you around the table, we ask each other, what have we got a history of in our family? Is it diabetes? Is it coma? Is it heart disease? What is it? That's a great time to find out what's going on in the family that you need to go get screened for to make sure you know. Once you look at it, your independence starts going out as hard for you to read if you get glaucoma because your vision is very good. There's something for glaucoma, even though it's a smiling kind of deal, is decreased side vision. Your peripheral vision is not what it was. Your straight ahead vision might become more blurry.
But if you get this checkup, if you get these checkups, you can catch it in time and it's treatable, right?
That's right. It's prevent it from getting worse. The main thing is we don't want your pressure to build up in the back of your eye to cause the damage to the optic nerve. And once you do damage to the optic nerve, you can't repair it, but you can lower the pressure, which will ease up going to the optic nerve. So you can thing is getting a screen and then do a follow-up. Like I said, I'm not an eye doctor. I've lived all my life, and I've got it since I was a baby. So I know what I'm talking about.
Oh, no doubt. I don't think anybody challenges your credibility. I have never heard anybody ever challenge you on knowing what you're talking about.
Well, it's a serious situation. So once you lose your eyesight, you can't drive.
That's it. You're in trouble. Yes, sir.
You battle with people trying to.
I don't think I ever told you this, but I had a grandmother, on my mother's side that was blind that went blind when I was a child.
Didn't know that.
Yep. And so I'm sensitive to it. I understand that yes, it can happen, and hers was just a natural debilitative situation, degenerative rather, but the technology that exists now, you can prevent that. That is preventable unless you're born with it like you were.
Right. And so that's why I try to stay in tune with it, and that's the reason why I still got this vision now is because of the fact I stayed with my eye doctor and had all those surgeries. I was like 44 eye surgeries for glaucoma, and during my lifetime, I'm 60 years old now. It's almost an eye operation a year just to prevent it from getting.
And doesn't high blood pressure and diabetes also aren't they factors with that as well?
Well, I think everything kind of simultaneously works together. Now, diabetes can cause blindness as well through diabetic retinopathy, which is another thing to come up with. Okay, high blood pressure, I'm not so sure is as much as anything to glaucoma is just the glaucoma.
Yeah, but they can't treat if your pressure is up too high, and sometimes, like you were talking about the pressure in the back of your eye, all of that kind of figures in together as from what I've been told.
Yeah. It all kind of works together. They can call your major organs and stuff. And so you just have to be in tune to your doctor. You also have to talk to your doctor thoroughly about what medications they put you on. So they don't put you on something that you need to cause cataracts or glaucoma or and some other kind of ailment that you don't know about. I mean, you can go into get drugs prescription, and next thing you know, you more depressed than you were when you
you think about committing suicide and don't know why.
yeah, and the other thing is, there's so many side effects natural and trying to stay away from all of it.
Well, but that's why the doctors, when you go to a physician, regardless of what you're being treated for, they ask you, tell us what medicines you're taking, so they don't give you something that will conflict with other pharmaceuticals, the legal drugs that you're taking, huh?
Yeah, and the thing is, you got to have a sympathetic doctor. Most of the people the doctor will take time to listen to all your facts and all your symptoms and symptoms so that they won't put you on the wrong road. So many people like, well, I didn't put you on this because you got high blood pressure. Well, they don't tell you about what the drug might do to something else. And so you got to do your own research. I'm a big on YouTube guy. I find out something about it. I have a sinus infection now. I go on into
Yeah, well, be careful though, William, because you got some shysters on YouTube too. Double check it and get more than one source saying the same thing, huh?
you want to make sure that it's a doctor doing that, and that's one thing that I say to do is, get your research. I have what you're saying the sense and to go to the doctor to make a little bit more sense to you what he said.
You don't do like that Motel 6 commercial. You woke up because you stayed at Motel 6. Now you think you're an eye doctor.
You got to make sure just because I'm wearing a skillet suit don't mean
that don't mean you know what you're doing. That's right.
but the drug call spending is tomorrow was Dr. Christine Rosenberg, primary actress, San 1 Medical Parkway from noon to 2 o'clock. Reagan Bowman will be there present. I've got it lined up for tomorrow, and they are dedicated to help me. I appreciate that. And they come from other too, right away.
One more time, give us your telephone numbers in case there's somebody that's listening is interested in being a driver for you.
334-354-4015. 334-354-4015. And let me put out this disclosure real quick. Let me just no one's on that thing. I'm not looking for those stickers or looking up with nobody or nothing like that. I'm looking for somebody who got a heart on one and number two can drive and give me where I want to go and keep them out there. That's what I'm looking for.
I know that's right. You don't want your business all out in the street because when somebody picks you up, huh?
Yeah, listen to me because I know where I'm going. I know exactly where I'm going. I know what street I want to go down. That's good, man. Me too. You do what I say, and I know what we do.
Well, that's why they're getting paid. If it's for free, you're in a different position. But if I'm being paid, I've got to do what my client's asking me to do.
If you're getting paid to do the job, you're getting paid to do the job. We just hang out. I don't really
so you take care of business, huh?
Party. I don't go to funerals. I don't go to weddings. I ain't paying nobody to take me there. I don't go to church. I listen to church on the radio. I was told by some churches. I was like, you just sit down, listen to it on the radio, watch it on TV. We don't have time to come to get you. I said, well, I'm good. I'm giving my 10%. My 10% is
that's why they have the radio ministries or television ministries for people who can't get there comfortably.
Coming to them because you're blind and they get when they don't know how to deal with it. You sit at home and listen on radio and watching on TV. Well, that's all well and good, but last time I checked, I believe Jesus made the blind see the crippled walk, and he ain't everybody. He's a little preacher for the church I need to get in line, so I'm calling him out. Anyway, I'm getting on my phone on all this because I really think I control people, how they think, what they think, and how they think, and doing the right thing. But I feel good. You got a neighbor that you know who got an issue. Look out for your neighbor. Don't let them prevent you from your pride from helping somebody else. And if you are in need, don't let your pride prevent you from asking for help, even though you don't want to be rejected. Still find a way to help somebody or find somebody who can help somebody. Because we got lots of people out there with a lot of good intentions. But the other thing about you being holiday season, we got some people out there that can be thought of before.
Well, that's convenient. It's convenient for me to think about you on Thanksgiving and Christmas. And then I can go with my conscience. I don't have to do anything to help anybody the rest of the year.
Yeah, and that's the big thing that keeps me on people. I had somebody tell me during Christmas, hey, I'm running you, you got something. I have something 365 days a year. Why you want to think about me now?
It's popular.
Busy during the rest of the time, but I got some time now. Can I bring you your plate? I don't want your plate.
Well,
Went to the grocery store, I had $300 and I got all the food I need. Thank you.
that's crazy.
I don't like these people want to do something for good need for a minute, and then you don't get a phone call or they won't answer your call the rest of the year. I know everybody needs to have an opportunity to feel good. Everybody should be happy during Christmas, blah, blah, blah. I'm happy during Christmas. I'm not happy during Christmas sometimes. But if the sun is going to come along regardless, whether somebody comes to do something for you, I always forgive. I will look for the making now. My thing is, give me where I need to go. Let me get what I got to get. Leave me alone, and then you come back again 365 days. I found some humor and everything. I can tell you some stories about your ears, man. The radio listeners will probably send us.
Well, no, we have a pretty broad-minded audience. Our audience is pretty broad-minded.
And so the thing is, one thing is, independent as independent, you gotta stay there with your physician, whether it be eye doctor, primary care, or you get to the point where you having to call these people or be trying to have. There's some people out there overcharge you just so you can call. You gotta be aware of that. But then again, from 12 to 2 o'clock, primary eye care center, 24 hours, where Dr. Christina Women will be doing a free telephone screen and eye checks, and I'll be out there too, giving out business cards. I'll give you all the rest. I'm sorry for it.
Okay. Well, William, thank you so much, man. I'm glad you called and told us about what's going on, and so I'll be doing. I'm going to try and make it to do some coverage on that because eye care and eyesight is very critical and very important.
Very important. If I give you leaving the message, I will today. The main thing is we appreciate your continued support on. I forget the word out every year where there's something going on, and we just want to encourage you to listen. To advantage of an opportunity. Just try to take that opportunity to get out there. And medical people out there, I saw child care doctor. Anyway, she was not. And I'm so sorry. And again, go out there and she got no resources. So, you anything to do to help you out, I'm here to help you. I'm not here for you.
Okay, I'm gonna take this commercial break, and we'll be back with more. Thank you, William. Talk to you the next. I'll see you tomorrow, and we'll be back with more after these messages.
You ever endured a horrible toothache for several days, call a dentist office and they can't see you soon as home? Or worse, you find you can't afford the treatment now anyway. I want you to listen up for a minute. Doc Ron, the downtown dentist of Fargo for so many years, has relocated his office to the suburbs of Automobile. He downsized his office and even downsized his prices. But he still has the same dedicated concern for his patients. At his new office, Doc is present prompt pain relief and budget-friendly tooth replacement. So whether you got a small problem or looking for a total rebuild package, you call the Earth Dentist. That's Dr. Ron at 365-2238. The Dentist. It's 27 minutes from Selma City limits. How's your circulation? Do you suffer from fatigue, leg cramp, weakness, or pain in your legs? Do you often have to stop and rest before you continue? If so, you could be suffering from VAD, peripheral artery blockage in your circulatory system. Maybe time for you or your doctor to get in touch with Alabama Vascular Specialist. AVS is growing and serving our area with the most advanced vascular surgery and treatment available today. Dr. Ralph Red, Dr. Erwin Whitehead, and Dr. Richard Tan are changing lives for the better when it comes to the vascular health of their patients. Other factors include high blood pressure, diabetes, obesity, smoking, and high cholesterol. All contributors to poor circulation and vascular problems. Not to mention family. AVS can help put you on the road to recovery. Offices in Montgomery and Selma. Call 334-801-9952. Online at Alabama.
1490 WHVB. You know, as I was talking to Mr. Bowman, William Bowman, it made me think about a couple of years ago, right before the COVID-19 kicked in, I participated in the UAB heart and lung study, and I'm glad I did because at that time I really did not have a primary care physician. The last primary care physician at that time that I had passed away, Dr. Okoye, and after he passed away, I really didn't think about any more local physicians. But when I took the health study, I thought I was healthy because I'm I've been pretty active most of my life. Not football or basketball, but I have been active in the martial arts, and I used to run. I used to be a jogger. So, that kind of I thought kept me pretty healthy. But when I did the heart and lung study, boy, when I found out where my pressure was, oh my gosh, I was probably a functioning heart attack waiting to happen and didn't know it. And so after taking that study, I became really conscious and aware, and I found a physician that I was comfortable with, and I continued to do that. And now, I'm normal. When I say normal, everything is pretty much normal, but I do with my physician. I take the medicines and do everything they tell me to do. And it's not just about me. No, I'm not just telling you. When I encourage people exercise, diet, and to find a primary physician, I'm not telling you something that I'm not doing myself. I have not benefited from. I know, and because I did also, I've taken a few, participated in a few other events like. Got involved, and these were free events that was advertised and made available to the public. I took a course on what are they called? It's just been so long now, but diseases that that's the word I'm looking for. Chronic diseases, like blood pressure and high blood pressure, diabetes, and there are a few other chronic diseases that we can control through diet and exercise. And I try to pass that information on because I've seen people and know folks here locally that have a lot of issues and much of it, a lot of it can be prevented and brought down to levels of normalcy. So uh, health is something that cannot be replaced. And on also, I was looking at I was listening to Fox News. They mentioned the Challenger accident, 1980, 40 years ago. I'll never forget it because at the time I was doing a midnight shift at a local station in Richmond, Virginia, and I had just gotten off, and I had just fixed breakfast, and I was eating my breakfast and watching that, because I had planned to watch the Challenger take off, and I was watching it. I'll never forget it. And then as it went off, and me along with, they had all these school kids that were actually there on site. And then as it got into the atmosphere, before it left Earth's atmosphere, it exploded. And it looked like the design of a snake. That's what caught my eye also. It was a terrible tragedy. Yep, the Challenger, 40 years ago today, 1986. I was in Richmond, Virginia. Which Richmond was one of my choices because I did real well in Richmond and embraced, I'll put it to you like that, in Richmond. Yeah. Let's take this break. I'll be back with more after these messages.
Today's world, preparing your vehicle for children condition demands cutting-edge technology. That's what you get at the all-new George's Paint and Body Shop in Snow. After tornado damage total reconstruction, George's has the latest advanced technology, especially designed for today's multi-tech vehicles. The Bosch calibration system restores safety features like lane departure and collision sensors. The two new cheap paint machines, laser measuring system, delivers pinpoint accuracy and compatibility. And the two new downdraft paint booth units provide perfect quality refinish. And the reconstruction comes to a much larger facility designed for increased capacity and quicker turnaround time. George's deals directly with your insurance company. They work for you. Call to schedule your estimate and repairs today. See the pros, Eric and Scott Hoggett at George's Paint and Body Shop, 1215 J.L. Chestnut Junior Boulevard. Call 334-870-1441. All new George's Paint and Body Shop has reopened itself. Hi, George. It's a big world out there, fast-paced and full of challenges. The last thing you need when you have a vehicle accident is a hassle with not a pencil. If you can just go sit down and talk to mom and pop, right? Mom and pop are like, well, at our beauty body shop in Selma. Aaron City Grimes, the owned and operated our beauty shop for a good moment. And they experienced very different in their system. We had the latest, more technical. They had an excellent with a lot of church providers. They have something for the body shop has. They have everything extended. The mom and pop vehicle body repair. First discussion damage, the estimate, and the factory quality repairs. Please drive safe when you have an accident. Ask your tow truck driver to take your vehicle to mom and pop. All the beauty body shop, 2114 East, 434-876-2248. No delays. They can get you in today and start your repair right away.
Yeah.
Over the year, my family is proud to provide healthy, sustainable feed to your family's table, and you create good jobs for Alabama. Always look for the U.S. Farm Race Gate seal to make sure you're getting it. Thank you for supporting local farmers, find recipes in the restaurant, USCatfish.com.
14 on EWH. Let me clarify. I was talking about Dr. Okoye. He passed away within the last year or two, but he had retired several years ago, and after he retired, I just, I didn't go, and I didn't really, I wasn't seeing him on a regular basis. Whenever something went wrong, or I was in pain for some reason, maybe, but he retired, and he lived for several years after his retirement. But he recently died within the last year or two. In fact, I've got this obituary. I was sent it here about Dr. Okoye. I remember once we had visitors from South Africa who wanted to study organic farming techniques in the Black Belt. And This is when I was working with Fire Rose Ray. We took them on the tour of the Black Belt and went to some of the organic farms. But when we came back, Dr. Okoye hosted the delegation at his home. Oh, wonderful meal. I'll never forget it. That's just a programming note I thought I should mention, huh? Viewpoint, you're on the air. That's what Viewpoint, you're on the air.
I have wanted to say, oh, we the school system, people the school board. Thank you. Children, my grand, one, going to be out of school Monday. That's not. And they told me, they told me. They were so prepared when other places was crying to try to decide or know what to do. As a great evening, I had asked my other neighbors if they had to go to school, because I know they go to different districts. If they had to go to school, she said, we do. So it just tells you that, and I know when you have children, you want to be sure that everything is in order. Because I don't have to make that problem in the world. It will be so children, great advantages. And I also,
No, I know. I was going to, there's been one or two cases where women have gotten pregnant over the age of 60. It doesn't happen every day, but it can happen.
Hospital. That's the Mayo Center. It's one of our hospitals that we had a dialysis unit that we had to oversee. And having said that, from time to time I would have to make trips there. And a lot of them got the trips on the train, which was always wonderful. But one year our children were here in Alabama. And we had a chance to date in Minneapolis. I mean, and it just hurts me to know that we cannot turn apart. One of the things was don't no ice on my way.
Yeah, but who's right? I mean, I notice again, noticeably absent from the protests are African Americans, and probably because all the people I know in Minneapolis are too busy working and making money. They don't have time for foolishness. So unless you don't have a job, you're getting paid. Who can afford to protest for illegal immigrants in the United States?
You have a cause.
We made sacrifices here in Selma in the 60s when it was necessary. But my point is, anybody that's attuned to real human rights and real issues, legal constitutional issues in this country, is not trying to protect the rights of an illegal immigrant that forced their way into the country. Who is not illegal? People that they're arresting, you're saying, are not illegal immigrants? ISIS is an organization. ISIS legally exists to deport and control illegal immigration. As far as you know, as far as the narrative that we get, depending on who you listen to, I hear a different story. I'm in the news business. I'm sorry. This is what I do. Look, I got to go. Got to take this break. Thank you for calling. We'll make this last break. I'll be right back after these messages.
With our friends at Reliable Chevrolet and GMC in historic downtown Selma, serving the area for 8 years. Barry Parker is with us right now. We're talking 2026 has just arrived. That's right, George. New Year kickoff. Hey, now I have been here for 80 years. I've been in the business for a little over half of that. But we have been located right here in downtown Selma for 80 plus years. And we're doing business, tell you, George, the old fashioned way, working one deal at a time. We want to get to know you, family. We want you to become part of the reliable family. So come by and see us in the market for a new Chevrolet or GMC or even a pre-owned automobile. We have got you covered there for all your driving needs. And then the same thing with service. We can do all your service work. We can do all your financing. We're, as I say all the time, we're a one-stop shop where we sell them, we service, and do the financing for you right here at a reliable Chevrolet GMC. Mentioned the financing part of it. There may be someone along the way that has had a little hiccup or hardship in the past. We're looking for good people, not necessarily good credit. That's right, George. We're set up with credit acceptance. They're known to help you reestablish your credit. Hey, several reasons why you have some credit problems. As I said, it's not a problem to have reliable Chevrolet. We can get you reestablished and get you right today. All here at Reliable Chevrolet and GMC. Come see the difference about local treatment in Central Alabama at Reliable, where they truly have it all. I keep the ways to be at First Capital Bank means never have to worry about the season or the weather with online banking. It's always there and always on. 47-365 on holidays.
I'm Richard Walters, president of First Capital Bank, here to let you know that all of our online banking resources are invaluable to our customers. Although our open, personal and business customers have discovered how easy it has become to manage financial resources without having to come. And all of our online services, including mobile banking, visit firstcahaba.com to get all of the information, or feel free to call any of our locations in Selma, Troy, or Gulf Shores for any questions or information. Banking the way it should be at First Capital Bank, because we are constantly focused on the latest technology for customer convenience and overall satisfaction. We would love to have our growing community bank family at First Capital Bank.
1490 WHBB. I'm mindful, when I think about Minneapolis, I have lived personally in two of the heaviest Hispanic areas in the country. New York, Spanish Harlem. I used to go through it every day and I've walked through Spanish Harlem and lived in Spanish Harlem. And in Philadelphia, I used to help businesses advertise that were owned by Hispanics, by Latinos. And I met a ton of first generation people who came into the United States legally, number one, and they applied for their citizenship. Some of them were still learning how to speak English, but they had children and grandchildren. They would bring their grandchildren in who were born in this country to translate. I had took Spanish when I was in elementary school, but I couldn't speak a lick of it except count to 5. And I was still able to help them, advertise. And I worked with Hispanic organizations that were involved in the real struggle. I know what I'm talking about. And those kinds of people, if you talk to them today, ask them how they feel about illegal immigration and people forcing their way into the country when their foreparents had to wait years before they became United States citizens. That's food for thought. You have yourself a safe day. I'll see you tomorrow morning. The Good Morning Woman. Stay tuned for Fox News. It's 9 o'clock.
I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. President Trump hosted Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Fry and Truth Social, reacting to the Democrat statement that his city will not enforce federal